Welcome to A Date with Fate. Last time, Fenfi and Marcon got to know more about each other. Faye learned more about Marcon from Patrook, and the group played a game called One Truth and One Lie. At night, Mylea had a dream from her goddess, who removed many of her paladin abilities due to her disloyalty. In the morning, Faye helped Marcon overcome a hangover, and the group was ready to leave the tavern and set sail for Brys.
By this time, it's maybe 9 o'clock, we'll say, and you get to the Blue Whale.
Shit, what was the name of our captain?
Golda?
Golda, that's right, it was Golda.
Yes, yeah.
Golda.
Golda the half-elf orc. She's 5'8", black hair. So yeah, there's a bunch of ship activity happening on the docks as people load things up and whatever. The quartermaster of this ship is named Nellin. He's a half-elf. He looks kind of youngish. He has brown hair and he's thin. And so he's been looking out for you because he knew that some group of fighters was coming. You're the fighters, aren't you?
Yes, indeed.
And Patrook is like, not me, I'm just a passenger.
He's with us, though.
Most of us.
He does our taxes.
I'm Nellin. I'm the quartermaster for the Blue Whale, and I'll show you to your quarters. And I'll give you a general tour of the ship. I'm glad you were way on time.
We wanted to make sure there wasn't any, documents or insurance or anything of that nature to fill out.
Well, we do have that, yes. So, he takes you to an office kind of place on the ship. Be like, this is at your own liability. If you die, here's a next of kin to contact, and kind of things like that. And that also you're not responsible.
I'm just gonna quickly sign it.
Oh no, I was gonna say you're not responsible for any of the cargo or whatever. So you're really just here to fight off anything that they might come across.
While we're filling this out, can I do a quick glance perception check to see who everyone puts down as their emergency contact or next of kin?
Yeah.
Okay. I roll. Fact. It's a natural 20.
It's a nat 20. Is anyone trying to hide who, as they're signing and writing anything?
Nope.
Okay.
So,
Nope.
Perception 25.
No.
What
Okay.
do you see then from, I don't know, just go in order. Fenfi, what name do you put down as your next of kin?
Sorry, what does that mean exactly?
Your...
Who gets your stuff when you pass?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna write
child, husband.
a Nimala. A name Nimala.
I'm going to write down the name Bayami Masis.
Marcon?
And I am going to write down the name Joseph and then cross it out. And next to it, I write in very messy writing, Maeve.
Okay, so this is what you see, Faye.
Okay.
And, yeah, you have to, I don't know, give some indication of which town they live in or something so they know how to find these people.
Bayami Masis of... whatever the small name of my village is.
Yeah, I don't know. You write
Yeah, I need to come up with a village name too.
Yeah, well, whatever, it's not important. But let me do a history check for Nolan. It's an 11. Never mind. He's like, alright then, so this appears to be an order, and let me show you around the ship and which areas are off limits to you, and things like that. Mess hall, this kind of stuff. So you get the whole overview of the entire ship, and you will be sharing, depends on the cabin, but usually there's it's very small, like cramped space. There's like four sling things like per cabin, except for
Hammocks.
hammock. I knew it wasn't a cot, and like I kept thinking cot, and so you're probably all gonna be in the same room. Well, now you have Patrook, which he wasn't counting on, but so they'll put Patrook in some other room, like with other crew members. And you see a mess hall, you see like the head, and you see all the places you can go, the prow, whatever, these kinds of things. And he's like, this is our armory. We have some weapons here. We save, I mean, mostly they're for emergency use. So I really expect for you to rely on your own weapons. This is just in case some reason your weapons went overboard and then you had to pull from this armory. So please don't take anything from here. And please don't touch anything. I like things to be very neat. And so don't come into my office again unless you're with me. And please don't come into the armory without me. Unless we're in battle or something and you lost a weapon. You really need one. Oh, you have a question?
No.
Okay. Well, you're
What time do we launch?
We launch in about an hour.
Great. Alright.
So you're free to roam around. Don't bother the sailors too much, but they're always interested in talking. We have one other high elf here in our crew. I can tell you from Brys. And so maybe he'd be interested to talk to you, I don't know. Yeah, it's a small crew, but we get things done.
Oh, of course. Yes, I'd love to meet him. If he's willing, of course.
He'll be around, I'm sure. He is very tall and blonde, so long hair, these kinds of elfish things.
He's sorry, maybe I should ask him, but he was originally from Brys? Oh, is he?
He's originally from Brys and he left. I'm going for the other guy's voice now. So yeah, I'll leave it up to him to talk about his story if he
Of
wants.
course, yes.
He doesn't
Yes,
mind
of course,
usually.
of course.
For you, now he knows all your names. Fenfi, I'd be very careful. Very small, and we're not used to. One of our crew is a dwarf, but you're just very little, so please be careful.
Okay.
Okay. Thank thee for the tour and for showing us the rules.
I am very appreciative that you've listened to my rules, and I have other duties to go to now if you have no more questions.
No?
Marcon is kind of half listening to this, and with the other half, he wants to kind of eye what types of weapons the ship has.
The ship has crossbows, things that you could easily launch at a sea creature, like harpoons and spears, and mostly projectile weapons, bows and arrows. There's some swords, of course. Nothing really fancy, just to get the job done.
Great.
So, Nellin leaves you. I'm gonna write his name in his here.
Does anyone have a preference? Do they want top hammock, bottom hammock, middle hammock?
I've no preference. I will go where I'm bid.
I would like the bottom hammock, if we are going to have nights like last night. You may want to put me not above you.
Fenfi,
Oh,
perhaps you should take a bottom hammock as well.
bottom.
Because she's little.
Okay. I can climb too, so either way.
Sure, I'll take a middle hammock.
A middle hammock?
Is there,
I don't know if the's 3 or like
There's
just
three or just
is
two.
it 2 rows?
No,
two?
Well, there's probably closer to. I don't know. I imagined 2 and 2 and 2 and 2. Like so, yeah. Like there's only 4.
Okay.
Right, then I'll take a top. I'll be a top.
You are a top.
No.
Marcon is the bottom.
And this entire conversation goes right over Malaya's head. She spent a lot of time in a church, friends.
So
Top bunk.
yeah, as the ship gets underway, sailing and stuff, the crew is made up of 5 people plus Golda. 1, 2, 3, yeah, 5. So you already met Nellen, the quartermaster half elf. We also have Artadek, the high elf who left Brys. Chelsea, a human. Ragorn, a dwarf, and Treff, a dragonborn.
Would you say those names again?
Treff is the first
Yeah.
mate. Treff is a dragonborn female, black dragon. Ragorn is a male dwarf. Looks like older. Like so, Treff is young. This is how I do my age appearance. Treff is young middle. Ragorn is older middle. He's 4'6", has red hair and red beard. Chelsea is a young human, like 5'3", very curvy and long black hair. Nellen, you already met, the half elf, who's 5'8" with brown hair. It's pretty short. And Artadek, the 6'2" high elf, who has long blonde hair that he's like braided back.
I'm going to go for a stroll about the ship and see if I can be of service or use. Does anyone come in?
Oh, I'll join you, just to show that I also can be of service.
Sure, that's probably a good idea. I'll join you too.
Marcon
yeah,
totally
I'll join
misses
as
the
well.
reference.
Marcon gone. And so I head back up. Is it up or out?
It would be up.
And out.
Up
Yeah.
and out. Both.
Yeah, both.
Open out.
Yeah, this boat. I'm not very good at the footage of boats, but I mean, it's probably because it's a cargo ship. It's got a large hold for carrying like lumber and other agricultural food products or something to Brys. So that's the majority of its
Faye,
bigness.
What-
I don't know, 50 feet maybe.
what kind of weather can we expect in Brys?
Oh, around this time of year, utterly perfect and divine. Not too hot, not too cold, wonderful weather to go swimming or lounging in, and just generally the same as usual. Doesn't really change there.
Seems awful boring.
Oh, yes, it is.
She says happily.
And is there anything our crew should be on the lookout for when we come up to Brys?
Oh, well, I mean, I trust the crew in charge of the ship, so we don't have to worry about them hitting any coral or anything. Protected wildlife and all that. But, you all probably just keep your heads down and just not be existing, but there, you know, keep your keep this, and I reference your like whole vibe. Keep this kind of just like internal, right?
Your whole vibe.
My whole vibe.
You just gestured to all of me. I'm gonna roll.
Is it the... Is it...
Yes.
What aspects of this are you referring to?
Oh, well, you seem to have just an air about you that would not go over well on Brys.
I don't know that it goes over well anywhere.
That is also true. Good observation, Marcon.
Oh my god.
Sometimes.
Just
And my Leia whispers to herself, sometimes everyone is lucky that I'm religious.
oh, we're lucky. Huh? That's what that is.
Well, roll a perception check to see if you heard her.
Okay. Here we go. It like fell out of my hand between like a 9 and a 16. Is that correct? Or a 3 and a 16, whatever. So 13 plus 5, so 18.
I'm sure you heard her.
That was what all this is. Interesting. Yeah, keep that to yourself, I would say.
So I should, if I'm to fit in with the people of Brys, who I assume are much closer to you than they are to me, acting all above it and, you know.
Oh, you can't do that. Only I can do that. You're not... How do I put this delicately without you blowing your top off? Humans are usually servants. So you don't act high and mighty. You act like you don't exist and listen to me.
And with that, my Leia is going to rear back to get ready to give her a good gut punch, because she can take no more.
I'd say you have advantage on the attack.
Cool.
A super surprise attack.
Shoot. Okay, so 17 plus my...
It hits.
To
It
hit,
hits.
yeah. It
Okay,
hits.
good. And then the unarmed strike is just
1d6, I think.
1d6, yeah.
Plus whatever strength.
With plus my strength.
Is
So
it
that's
paladin?
that's a
We
that's
had a long
6
rest,
pointer.
right?
What? We had a long
We
rest.
had a
yeah.
long rest last night,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I need to do that.
Oh, yeah.
So that's 6 points of bludgeoning damage right to your stomach.
Yeah, that can't happen. And
Taking out her
no,
anger
I'm not
on
even
one
gonna
person.
give you the satisfaction of viciously mocking you because I can do that without casting anything. Is how I viciously mock you.
I take 6 points of psych. No, I'm kidding.
So yeah, that can't happen. Sorry. Unless, of course, you want to be in Brys prison the rest of your life. Which is not divine, not lovely at all, and quite horrendous. I mean, I saw you blush at the mention of orgies. Imagine what happens to the prisoners. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Building my world for me.
So, I don't know. Maybe you should practice. Care to apologize to your master?
Ooh.
Oh shit. Not a chance.
That's a much better response, so keep at it. Anyway, Marcon, let's go look at the port side, since the starboard side seems to be full of shit. And I walk to the left.
Out of game, I love you so much. In game, this is not gonna go well.
And Marcon is just going to give Mylea a look like, wow, and not say anything and just follow Faye.
And as you start to go, Mylea says, and you're just okay with this, Marcon?
Well, as long as it's not pointed at me.
If it's pointed at me, it'll be pointed at you, Marcon. That's the trouble you've always been into, isn't it? Can't see past your nose, can you?
Oi, well. And Marcon's at a loss for words, so he's just gonna hop and walk away.
Turn around. What's Fenfi doing? Wait, what is Fenfi doing?
I was listening to the whole thing, but I'm just like gonna take in what was like said about Faye and kind of just like think about what she was saying and like I guess I'm just gonna wander around the ship a little bit by myself.
Leave Mylea to stew.
Mylea's gonna find whatever heavy thing needs lifting and go lift it. Or
they will watch Fenfi walk away for a bit. And like while we're hanging out with Marcon, she's going to take out like a bit of fire and kind of mess with it in her hands before casting message and pointing at you, Fenfi. So you hear in your head, by the way, that also applies to you, but I wasn't being mean to you because you're rather nice. I just wanted to say that. You can reply to this message, BT dubs.
So does that mean that I'm your servant?
Cast a message again. And I'll just say, I mean, technically anyone that's not a wood elf or high elf is probably a servant. I mean, you don't have to be under mine, but you could be, you know, like of my entourage. You can reply to this message, BT dubs.
I do have a question. Can I leave the contract when it's done?
No, you're not in
When
contract
we're done with our work?
Only Mylea and Mark.
We're gonna make you keep casting.
Okay, wait. So does that?
It's a cantrip, so it's fine.
Yeah, only Mylea and Marcon are in a contract to Faye because they need to get out of their military service.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm just like wondering if I'm a.
If you're gonna be stuck
Is
on
it
Brys
like
as a servant
you're
forever.
considered a servant like forever.
I'll cast message again. Oh, no. I'll just say you're one of my friends. It's all fine. We'll have
Okay,
people come
then.
over all the time. You can reply this message, BT dubs.
Yeah, they don't get
That's what I was
like,
Okay, well, I'm
Ever.
fine with that. That's
like
totally
a
fine.
lot of the elves would be really interested to see a gnome.
She's fine with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast message and say like, in fact, they would probably think you're utterly adorable. So if anything, maybe don't look so adorable as you already look. You can reply to this message, BT dubs.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you, Faye.
I'm not casting anymore. It's done.
Oh, what was
Aw. So you all split up to wander around the ship. Marcon and Faye are together. Fenfi's kind of alone, and Mylea's looking for something to lift. And so Mylea finds Ragorn, the dwarf, in the process of doing something. Most of the lifting has already been done because the ship wouldn't be sailing otherwise. So he's just like securing ropes, making sure things look right.
Can I be of service?
Oh, so you're one of the passengers, are you? Well, you're not supposed to be helping me then.
One of the fighters.
Right. I'm just checking the ropes and saying no, there's nothing for you to do here.
Please, I'm not very good at being idle.
Well, idleness is a big part of a sailor's life, you know. I can show you some card games. Or wood carving. That's what I do in my spare time.
What's your name again?
My name is Ragorn.
Ragon. Good to meet thee. Malaya.
Malaya. You're from Sebulod.
Aye.
It appears.
My whole life.
Right. I'm from Grolod. Well, I'm sorry I can't be of more service to you.
Nay, it's my desire, not yours. It's fine.
I can tell you stories of the creatures we've seen and what happened to our last adventures, if you like, unless that puts you at fear and you don't want to hear those kinds of stories.
It takes quite a lot to make me fear these days. I'd be very interested.
Then let's go to my favourite part of the ship, which is right over here. So he takes you just a little bit further, I don't know, in a nice shady spot somewhere at the back, and tells you sea dragon stories and other stuff.
Sea dragon stories. And while he's telling me stories, I would like to keep my eyes peeled for like any work that needs to be done, but if the work seems to be calm, I'm cool to listen.
Yeah, there's people dealing with the sheets and stuff, but it's nothing that you would really know how to do. All the loading and unloading is tied down and everything already. Fenfi, what are you looking for?
I'm just walking around, just seeing if there's, just like checking out the boat. I'm not really looking for anything in particular, but I'm just like walking around the edge of the boat.
Okay. Yeah. All the sailors see you and they're like, oh, she's so little. So cute. The sailors up in the sheets and stuff like that. What about Faye and Marcon?
Marcon is going to take this moment, since he is now alone with Faye and away from everybody else. And he's gonna ask, so Faye, Patruk, what's going to happen to him once we get in Brys?
He'll be my accountant or my mummy's accountant.
And that's not code for anything. That's
No, that's not code for anything.
Oh,
My
good,
family
great.
has, we have enough servants. Reason mummy and daddy would like Druk. I have made it known to them that I do not like their accountant, their current person in charge of their estate. And he's also in charge of my estate, which I hate because, again, I believe he is stealing from us. He's another elf, by the way. It's not, like, anything untoward. But I don't like him. I hate him. He is worst. So I've been telling them for years I would like us to get a new one. And they all, oh, but he's fine, don't worry, my pet, he's fine. I'm like, no, mummy, he's not fine. No, daddy, he's not fine, he's the worst. So, I wanted a new one. And the reason Patrick would be fantastic is because he is so different. No one on Brys really seen any half-orcs. So, not only will he be fantastic as an
is a whole orc,
accountant,
but it's the captain.
he's a whole orc.
Yeah, the captain. The captain is a half orc.
I haven't really seen an orc before, so the fact that he is great at maths and is an orc is already a fascination in itself. So it'll go over well with them. And if it doesn't, he can be in charge of my estate while I'm away, since I don't intend to be there very long. Very often, so he could literally live in my home while I'm gone. So he'll have a place to stay, he'll have income, he'll have a wonderful place, and he'll be treated well, we treated all right. I'm gonna be frank. Not everyone's as wonderful as I am. He'll be treated fine because he's working for me and my estate and my family's name.
Good, great. Well, that
Maybe
seems rather
invited
cozy
to an
then.
orgy every now and then, but I also know that I don't care for that. So
Yeah. Well, knowing Patruk, that may not be unpleasant for him.
there you go. And then he was saying that he would tell his mama and papa that that's what's happening. So I would make sure that everything's good with the family first, and then if he cares to leave, he then has to find a replacement. Would be my only request.
I'm gonna say as the ship gets further away from port, more into open waters, everybody roll Constitution.
Oh,
Now it's
yes.
probably been like an hour and a half of sailing now.
Constitution.
And Marcon is at disadvantage, by the way.
Good, great. That seems quite in
Because
character for him.
his already.
Is it a Constitution save?
Yes.
Oh, it's the same.
I don't know. I mean,
Oh, I
everything-
rolled the same thing twice. That was actually really good. Wait, it's a con save.
Oh, mine's the same. mine's the same.
Yeah, mine's the same too. Mine's a dirty 20.
I don't want to say mine yet.
Mine's a 14.
Okay, this isn't as bad. It is a 14 as well.
Okay, you're all okay.
But
So
it
far.
could have been really bad.
I am going to so prestidigitation says that I can create an instantaneous harmless sensory effect such as a shower of sparks, a puff of wind, faint musical notes, or an odd odor. I just want to puff into my face some like the smell of ginger, just to combat any queasiness for myself. Is that an odd odor?
I think, yeah, because it's unexpected in a place like this.
Okay, so I'm just gonna if Faye's ever feeling queasy, you're just gonna see her like kind of snap her fingers and kind of like waft towards her face, and if you're close enough, you'd smell a little ginger.
Okay. So, perception, 19. The other elf, finishing with tying knots and whatever, sees you and comes over to you. He is not wearing a veil anymore. But so, he recognizes the veil that Faye wears. Oh,
Hello.
hello. So, you are our adventurers.
Indeed.
I am Oddity.
Setting on the high seas.
I believe we were told your names, but I don't know which name goes with which. So you are,
I'm Faye.
and
I mean, you could guess, right?
no, I'm sorry. What is your name?
Marcon.
Well, it is interesting to meet another elf from Brys who is out. But you're
Yes.
returning, so I assume you aren't out very long.
No, unfortunately, I was not out for very long. But we will see what the future holds. But the little outing was wonderful. I mean, how long have you been out?
Oh, I gave up on Brys, I don't know, 200 years ago.
Oh my, yes. What is, I mean, I don't know if you still care for it, but what is your family name?
My family name? Well, I suppose I still belong to them. It was Windler. And
would would my family have any connection or knowledge of the Windillas?
Probably. All the nobles know each other. That's really quite a small population.
And since he's a high elf, he would be one of them.
He's
upper
you would
nobles,
know,
right?
Yeah, you would know of his family more than he would know of yours.
Windillas. Oh, well, I mean, I know that you're not with them, but they, you know, you know, bureaucracy and all. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
Oh, don't. You don't have to act like that on this ship. We are free here.
Ah. Indeed. What made you leave? Anything in particular? Was it a certain event?
No, it was a series of events, I suppose. I don't know, I lost a friend. I lost a friend to one of the sacrifices. And several other events, I just couldn't put up with it anymore. I fell in love with a human. And, I mean, it more than just the sex toy, you know. So that was one reason why we left. She's not with me anymore, of course.
Yes.
But
And
I just
have
never felt like going
unfortunately
back.
not. Yes. We unfortunately have quite short lives.
Wait, how old are you? Marcon just chimes in.
Which one, darling?
Ardedek.
I am 504 years old. You must know.
504 years old. Wow,
Yes.
man. Wow. Yeah. No, your girl's been gone a long time, huh?
Faye just gives a look of what are you doing? Just
And Marcon looks
I
to
did
me.
say
Just,
that I left 200 years ago. I left with her. And no, she's not with me anymore. I already said that.
Alright, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt there. Wait, you're not, and I look at Faye now, you're not 504 years old, right?
no. I one, don't keep track, so I commend you for keeping track, sir. Two, I'm in the 150s. I'm quite young compared to him. No offense, sir.
You're young compared to him. And Marcon giggles, thinking about his own age.
Since we've shared ours, how old are you, sir?
Well, I'm a human, so I don't get to live that long. I am 23, if you must know.
You could compare her age to yours, as far as elf kind go. Perhaps. Well,
So-
I don't know. I'm not really sure how to do these equations. But anyway.
We come of age like normal, like we go through puberty the same way a human would around the same ages, but then we're just kind of stuck here for a very, very long time.
Oh, how interesting.
Yeah.
You don't have like a secondary puberty or anything like that? You just get the one and then you're done? That's it?
I mean, if you ask my father, he would definitely say that he went through a second puberty. But he just calls that getting old and his balls dropping into the toilet, so.
Oh. What age does that happen around?
You're really making me think of my parents' ages. I don't know.
Let's just
I
say
don't keep track of
700,
my
alright?
age.
Perhaps
Yeah,
700.
700.
This is a silly question.
Yes.
I've forgotten how... I mean, we have Chelsea, and... But still, I forget how silly humans can be sometimes. I don't know, have you met Chelsea yet?
No, I don't think we've met Chelsea yet.
She stands out. She's the newest of our sailors. so she's still learning a lot.
She just a deckhand, or is she
Yes,
doing the
she's
rigging?
mostly cleaning. Yes, mostly cleaning.
Oh, okay, so
She's very, very, what's the word? Clumsy. So it's hard
Clumsy.
to trust her with anything really difficult at this moment.
Yes.
But she'll grow.
Is she as precocious as dear Marcon here?
No. She, at least this one seems to have some intelligence. Chelsea went to sea for the adventure, and I don't think she'd be better at anything else.
It's wonderful to find your passion.
Wait, you mean I'm smarter than her?
I think so. I'm just making an estimate.
Damn straight.
So, yeah. I don't know. He goes about with more duties or something. I just want to keep Fenfi or my Leia. What are you up to now?
So after listening to the stories, I probably have started to wander about the deck a little bit. Really not good at staying idle right now, especially after the dream that she's had. So she's going to keep looking for people.
And Fenfi?
I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, it's okay. I mean,
I just want to go through like the rooms of the ship and things like that. Maybe like see what's
just
what's
go
inside the ship.
back to the galley, or
Mm-hmm.
there's not that many rooms. There's really just like the cruise rooms, the big cargo
Okay.
hold, and like the galley and the cabin for the captain. So because it's like all the space is meant for the cargo.
Oh, okay.
So there's not too many things to explore. It really is kind of boring.
Okay.
So let's say Fenfi, you make it into the galley, and here you find Treff. Treff is the Dragonborn first mate, who also does some of the cooking sometimes. I mean, they don't have like a dedicated cook. They should, but they lost their cook recently in a more recent attack.
An unfortunate baking accident.
No, involving a shark and some other monsters and stuff. So, you find the black dragon trap
Okay.
in the kitchen.
I'm gonna. You're like, oh, hey there. I'm Fenfi. What's your name?
She's company. I'm Treff. Are you sure that you should be in here?
I'm not too sure where I'm supposed to be. I'm just wandering around the ship. I'm like security here.
Right, alright. You, wait a minute. You're one of the security.
Oh yeah, I'm really fast, and because I'm small, people don't even suspect me to be around.
I can see that. Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm just making some food here for the crew.
Oh, so you're a cook on the boat here?
Well, actually, I'm the first mate. But we don't have a cook right now, and so we're taking turns doing it until we find one.
Okay. What are you cooking tonight?
The usual. It's a giant fish stew, and some carrots and celery. It's a giant stew. I mean, it's the essentials in a stew.
Oh, well, thank you for cooking for all of us on the ship tonight.
Oh, she's really flattered, but like she's just not very emotional, so you can't tell. Well, thank you for saying so. It's not often that even the crew says thank you.
Oh, well, I'm happy to be here. And how long have you been working on this ship here?
I've been on the Blue Whale for 10 years now. Yeah, I think it's 10 years. Originally, I'm from Mobolal, and I came down here and met Golda. Now, working for her.
Do you have a family?
Oh yes, I have a family in the mountains somewhere, but I like the sea. I mean, it was surprising to me, but this is where my passion is.
Oh, I understand that. Oh, I'm glad you found your passion.
What'd you say is your passion?
Well, I lost my daughter, and I've just been looking for her. So right now, that's the only thing I'm able to focus on right now.
Do you think your daughter's in Brys?
Either she's there or someone can lead me to her.
Yes, they have very powerful magic in Brys. Maybe someone can locate her.
Well, let me know if you hear anything that could help me.
Well, I do wish you luck, and if you want to hang out in the galley, you can. I'm just going to be cooking.
Oh, thanks.
So, yeah, this giant dragonborn compared to the little gnome continues cooking. And you can help her with stuff.
And I'll just hang out with him in the kitchen, yeah.
Yeah, you can help
I'll
her.
help in the kitchen. Help her, I mean.
My Leia.
So I'm wondering, is there any chance I stumble upon the two elves talking and,
It's not a
and
large
Marcon?
ship, so you can probably, because you went around the back with the dwarf, so if you continue on the other side, you'll now see them on the port side. You can see them.
Okay. I look at them and see if I catch Faye's eye before making my way over, because I'm not sure I want to go back over and start another fight. But I do kind of want to know more.
Okay. Well, our detect did not see
You want to know more? I have a passive perception of 20.
You have a passive
she's-
perception of 20?
Yes.
Well, then I mean, again, it's a clear day. There's not much to see, and, like, anything that moves is automatically visible.
Yeah, so I probably see her creeping off to the side.
Kind of creeping. And then she just walks over, trying to leave Marcon between the two of them. And she sees the other elf.
He looks at you kindly.
Oh, sorry, am I interrupting?
No. I'm Ardadek. And you must be my Leia.
I'm Malaya. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you. No, we were just talking about Brys. And, I mean, it's been a very long time since I've been back there, and so we were talking about places and people, these kinds of things.
You know, I've never been to Greece, and forgive my ignorance, but I'd like to know a little bit more about the culture there. And I sort of glare at Faye and then look back at Ardadek.
Well, can you start by telling me what you already know?
I know about the celestial beasts, that god, Brys. As far as the culture, I've heard that there is a different standard of, shall we say, class on Brys. And I wanted to know a little bit more about what we were getting ourselves into.
It's going to be very difficult for you. I can see that. But just so you know, I left Brys because I fell in love with a human. In a way, I want you to know that I'm on your side. But it is going to be very difficult to put up with the racism. You'll find that, first of all, do you speak Elvish?
Do I speak
Yes,
Elvish?
actually, yes. I looked it up.
I do?
All of you speak Elvish.
Thank God.
Even Fenfi.
Like-
I do speak a bit of Elvish.
Okay. Because even if you speak it, you'll find that people will still talk to you in common. Even if they're always speaking in Elvish, they turn to their servants and talk to them in common as if they believe that they can't hear them. But we know that anyone raised with hearing the same language all the time, of course they're going to know it. But so this is just one level of their racism. The kind of thing that I left. The culture. There's various different cities, but really the main city is Larion, the capital, where the central temple is, and there's 3 shrines there, meant to be kind of embassy shrines in a way to the outer shrines on the other islands. Well, a long time ago, people used to be a bit more religious. There used to be a time when, at least once per week, people prayed, I suppose you could say. But that's fallen by the wayside for the last, I don't know, 300 years, I don't know. What I hear now is that things have just gotten worse ever since the Queen died. The king does nothing. From what I mean, Faye, I don't know if this is true. This is what I hear. The king is just a figurehead at this point. It's Dapalat, the princess, that rules everything.
Yes, the princesses do pretty much everything. One more than the other, of course. But yeah, the queen. Yes, ever since the queen has gone, it's been not the best. Although, not to put anything to shame, the princess is doing her utmost.
She's doing her utmost to run us to the ground. Well, not me, but everyone else to the ground from sexual tiredness, I'd say, and party fatigue. I don't know. It's become worse as far as.
Is Brys just? Is it a culture of great celebration? Would you say?
It is, but a long time ago, it didn't used to be this way. There were people that studied and people that prayed, especially for the upkeep of the beasts and helping them to be. They used to be stronger than they are now because people would pray, but now it's really just the monks at their respective temples who are the ones praying. I mean, this is what I understand.
Yes,
when we go there on these cargo runs, I talk to my old acquaintances, and this is what I learn.
That's about the right of it, yes.
So,
have you? Forgive me. Have you ever heard of the Gambler?
Yes, he's very well known.
What have you heard of the Gambler?
They say that if you do something for him, any wish that you ask for will be granted.
Do you know what the Gambler would want on Brys?
I do not. Why?
I'm curious. So.
What the Gambler would want on Brys? Well, I know there's other elves that make deals with him. Usually it's for something stupid.
if Brys is as perfect as Faye has told us.
Oh, you never asked me if it was perfect. You asked about the weather, and the weather is perfect, constantly.
I think it has to do with the magic.
Ah,
Well, if there's so much magic, then why would anyone need the gambler?
Because they get caught up in their own stupid games of, this family's more powerful than mine. Well, then I'll just make a deal with the gambler, and my family will be richer. My family will have a greater name. Little squabbles like this.
If a human were to try and be unnoticed in Brys, what might they do?
Well,
Don't date a high elf.
there's not much you can do. I mean, the best you could do would be to pass for a half-elf, but even they are treated like servants. I mean, you can dress like us, put on fake ears, or do some kind of magic that allows you to appear like an elf, but can you keep that magic up? I don't know.
and honestly, the best way to go unnoticed is just to pretend that you know your place, even if you don't internally know it. If you don't cause trouble, no one's going to notice your existence.
You can often, I know this makes you frustrated, but you can often, people will not bat an eye at a servant going in a door. They might think, oh, they're going in there for a reason, someone sent them in there. They simply cannot believe that humans and half-elves and all the others that we treat as servants could have a mind of their own.
Well, then in that case, seems that Brys's own blindness will serve just fine.
No, you're lucky you're not a tiefling. They would absolutely not be allowed. I don't think a tiefling has set foot on Brys in thousands of years.
And Faye, why did you leave?
Oh, it's that. Not to cause a sort of debacle or whatever you want to call it, but Miss Alea, you have done nothing to earn my confidence. So, that's a rather personal question. Something only someone would tell their friend.
Didn't realize it was so personal, and she gives you a little mock bow.
Oh, you did that totally wrong. Okay, so you put your right foot back. The left hand is extended out. You take a deep bow and a wide half circle to your belly button and bow while not bending your knees until just when you're at 90 degrees, then you bend your knees. And then you may only raise your head once someone has given you permission. So I would practice that if you're going to be hiding in plain sight, as it were.
You see Marcon just taking mental notes and trying to position himself. Wait, she said, lift your head when the...
But
I
when
don't
I
know.
say
Actually,
it's good,
I suppose
so
this
go
is
ahead.
a very
and
good
practice.
idea. I would listen to her, or if you want, I can teach you more. If you really want to blend in. If you don't blend in,
No,
they're just not going to listen to you at all. But if you can appear servile, then you might be able to get questions answered, for example.
No, I'm interested. I'm very interested.
Yeah, me too. Count me in.
Well, Faye, then, would you like to teach them, or would you like me to teach them?
Oh, I think I could do this. Of course, especially, I mean, I'm sure you have other things to do about the ship. But if I need any help, or if they need any help, and maybe I'm not a great instructor, I'll come find you.
Alright then. Well, good luck. I'll see you later.
To you.
He leaves you. Alright, and at this moment,
So mad.
while my Leia is fuming and Marcon is actually somewhat eager to learn,
Marcon thinks it's a dance.
you hear a bell ringing. This is the danger bell.
Oh no!
And
Danger!
so I do want to end it here as we'll go into a battle that I'll prepare next time. Because these are very monster-infested waters, and I plan for several battles.
Woo! Monster infested waters. Okay, everybody, wave bye to the stream.
Bye.
We leave our heroes on the verge of battle. It's time to do what they signed on to do for this ship. Join us next time on A Date with Fate to see how they fare. Thank you for watching.